Ever felt like you're barely holding on? Like life's challenges are just too much? Join me as I challenge myself to find real strength in my weaknesses, using powerful Bible verses and encouragement. In today's world, it's easy to feel like we're not good enough, that we're not strong enough, that we're not enough, period. And that's exactly what makes the concept of finding power in weakness so revolutionary. We've all been there, stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and inadequacy, wondering how we'll ever measure up. It's hard to admit, but those feelings of weakness can be overwhelming. They can make us feel like we're drowning in a sea of inadequacy, like we're stuck in the mud and can't get out. And the worst part is, we often try to hide it, to put on a brave face and pretend like everything is okay, even when it's not. But the truth is, those feelings of weakness are a sign that we need to surrender, that we need to let go of our own strength and tap into a greater power. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. When we're at our weakest, that's when God is at his strongest. In 2 Corinthians 12, 9-10, it says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." Did you hear that? In our weakness, God's power is made perfect. That's not just a nice phrase, it's a game changer. It means that when we're feeling weakest, that's when God is most actively working in our lives. It means that when we're at our lowest, that's when God's power is most evident. And that's a powerful thing to hold on to. Another Bible verse that brings me encouragement is Psalm 34:17, which says, "The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them, he delivers them from all their troubles." Did you hear that? The Lord hears us, he delivers us from all our troubles. That's not just a promise, that's a reality. I want to share a personal story that illustrates this concept perfectly. A few years ago, I was going through a really tough time. I was struggling with anxiety and depression, and I just felt like I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. I felt like I was drowning in my own weaknesses, like life was just a constant shade of gray. The sun seemed to never shine in my life. At least that's how it felt to me. But in that moment of weakness, I turned to God and I surrendered. I said, "God, I can't do this on my own. I need you." And you know what? He showed up. He delivered me from all my troubles, just like Psalm 34 verse 17 says. In that moment, I realized that my weakness wasn't a liability. It was an asset. It was a reminder that I needed God, that I couldn't do it on my own. And that's exactly what I want to pass on to you today. Your weakness isn't a weakness. It's a strength in disguise. God's grace is a gift, not something we earn. When we feel weak, we can lean on his grace to carry us through. Isaiah 40 verse 31 says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." How do we tap into God's strength daily? Here are some practical steps. Prayer. Talk to God honestly about your struggles. Bible reading, meditate on God's promises. Community, surround yourself with supportive people. Gratitude, focus on God's blessings even in tough times. So, what can we take away from this discussion? We can take away that our weaknesses aren't something to be ashamed of. They're something to be celebrated. We can take away that God is most actively working in our lives when we're at our weakest. And we can take away that our weaknesses are a reminder that we need God, that we can't do it on our own. If you're feeling encouraged, I want to encourage you to share your own story of weakness turned to strength in the comments below. Let's create a community that celebrates our weaknesses rather than hiding them. And if you're looking for more encouragement, be sure to check out our other videos on related topics. Thanks for watching. Remember, you're not alone. God's strength is available to you today. Will you choose to embrace it Find strength in God today.